Hi, my name is Alistair Richards and my brother and I are the first twin boys born in Australia, probably the world, via IVF. Stands for in vitro fertilization. Back when I was born 36 years ago, the chances of having twins wasn't hugely statistic because it was just about getting someone pregnant. Nowadays there are quite a fair few twins born through IVF. It is a bit common because usually when they're trying to do the cycles through IVF, what they're doing is trying to give the woman the greatest chance to become pregnant. So they might implant a few embryos in the woman. So some women might have one baby, some women might have two, there could even be triplets or quadruplets born by IVF. As far as I know, when my mum was younger she was in a car accident, and therefore after the car accident she had a problem with some of her tubes, which meant the only way she could get pregnant back then was through IVF. So she went through 6 or 7 rounds of IVF, and after the 6th or 7th round she fell pregnant with me and my brother, 2 twin boys, which was a blessing for her because both her and my father really wanted children. IVF is a procedure where they help sperm fertilize an egg and put it into the uterus. If that egg takes, then it takes in the uterus and the result is a pregnancy. The way I understand it is they take the male's sperm and the woman's egg and they fertilize that egg, and then they put it into the woman in her uterus, and if that egg takes in her uterus, that results in the pregnancy of the IVF-born baby, whether that's single baby or twins, triplets, whatever. So depending on how many eggs are implanted back into the uterus, depends on whether you might have multiple pregnancies or not. They might put 5, 6, 7 eggs back into the uterus, and thus resulting in maybe a single birth or multiple births. So as far as I know, if the guy's sperm and the mother's egg is fertilized on the outside of the woman's body, it would have the same chance of getting pregnant as it would on the inside if it was done on the inside of the woman's body. So whether it was fertilized on the outside and put into her uterus would be the same chance of being pregnant if it was done on the inside naturally. I was born at Monash IVF Hospital, and all the procedures were done there, including the hormone injections that my mother got and all of the procedures she got done, including the 6 or 7 cycles of IVF that she went through. When I was born, the year or 2 before that, it was basically middle to upper class because it was quite expensive. The cycles were a lot of money, around at least $10,000 a cycle or more. So basically insurance didn't cover it because it still wasn't what they considered, it was sort of like an experimental procedure. So yeah, basically you had to pay for it yourself and it was quite expensive. So yeah, it was sort of the middle to upper class that were the only ones that could afford it. When I was younger, about 13, 14, 15, which is right around when I found out I was born by IVF, some of my friends, kids I went to school with, found out I was born by IVF, and they'd say something like, oh, you were born in a test tube, and my answer to them was pretty much always, well, at least I knew my parents wanted me because I know the trouble they went through to have me and my brother, and that was basically the answer I gave them, so I never felt ashamed about it. As far as I'm concerned, I've always been open to the fact I was born by IVF. I'm pleased my parents went through the amount of trouble and cycles they did to have children. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be born. I've never had a problem with it, and I've never felt any different to anyone else that was born naturally or not. So I'm pretty pleased. And me and my brother have a good life. I've got a nephew now that's 6 years of age. I love him to death. My brother's happy, I'm happy, we're both happy, so everything's terrific.